What is good, people? Welcome back to That Chelsea Show, aka Roman's Army. I hope you guys are all. What's that noise? Is someone hoovering? Oh, Monster, I think it's definitely your fan.
Hold on. It can't be mine. It's not mine. It's not me.
It's not me.
1 second.
There might be Gem.
Yeah.
It's me.
You need to get a new fan, my G. But anyway, welcome back, guys. I hope that all you Chelsea fans are as distraught as I am after watching that performance from yesterday. It's a thing where I don't even need to get into it too tough. Like, all I gotta say is one word, Mark. Someone's fan is loud. I'm a mute you. Hold on.
It's defo Jevs. It's defo Jevs. It's defo Jevs.
Come on, Jem.
It's not me.
Is it not? Is it still there?
It's still on now.
No, it's all right now.
Yeah, it's good now. It's good now.
Oh,
Okay, I'm just making sure.
It's
Anyway.
not me.
All I gotta say is one word in it. Kepa. Now, last night we didn't let Prime justify himself about his comments about Kepa. Forward, nice to meet you as well. I forgot to intro you guys. This is Forward. His at is right there as well. If you want to drop him a follow. But as I was saying, Prime, I needed to justify Kepa's performance yesterday. Talk to me about it.
Terrible goal to concede. He should have saved it. Maybe overall performance, taking away the goal. Maybe it's a slight improvement on last season, but obviously he's not the guy long term. He's probably not going to be sold this window. We'll probably have to wait until next season. Mm-hmm. So whether he's here playing or he's on the bench, and Kepa is the one, or not Kepa, Mendy is the one playing. It is what it is. We're going to have to try and find a club for him.
When you say an improvement from last season, precisely what did he improve on? What improvements did you see this match that was an improvement?
I mean, because he was so terrible last season that anything will be a bit of an improvement. Just like our defense overall was good last night, but anything is an improvement from last season. That's in terms of what I mean.
Is this a general?
I'm not saying it's brilliant or phenomenal, but whatever. I'm just saying it's a slight improvement. It's still bad. It's still terrible, but it's a slight improvement.
Does everyone agree that he even made an improvement yesterday?
No,
like
Prime, there was Prime. There was no improvement yesterday. It was the same. Okay. Tell me in what instance or where was the improvement? Like I don't know what you are saying.
It was phenomenal. I'm not saying it was a huge.
No, I'm asking what was the
Prime. The simple answer to this question is this, mate. Throughout the whole game, Brighton didn't have that many shots against us. But that one moment when they did have a shot and we needed him to blow out a save, he didn't.
But it's also in the same way when you guys say Christensen had. It's in the same way when you guys say Christensen had a good game, and I say he didn't because he didn't have to deal with anything. It's the same thing.
The defense was improved from last. The defense was. You could definitely see an improvement in the defense from last year.
Yeah,
that defense. You could see that. Kepa hasn't changed. He hasn't changed. He's still
I know.
the same
No. I did not say he's changed. I did not say he's changed.
No, but you're saying that there was a slight improvement from Kepa in terms of.
But that's not But that's not me saying he's been better. That's
how
not me saying he's better.
How can you improve and not be better?
I don't know. Well, if you're terrible, there's got to be a bit of an improvement.
There was no improvement. There was no improvement.
All right, then fair enough. We're just going to go back in circles then.
Because I'm just saying, like he had.
Okay, I heard everything he said last night. So
hold on. There was. You could someone might say, all right, maybe the shot he saved, but that's a shot anyone should save because it came literally. It was in his line where he should be saving it. The goal was literally one of the easiest shots you can save. It literally went under his hand. He was so slow to getting down to that shot, and he still couldn't save it. The one where he tried to punch the ball out, where he flopped. It's like, come on, like Prime. I don't know what you're seeing. Innit? I just don't know. Innit? You tell me. What are you seeing?
Give it a second.
Maybe because I don't know. Maybe because I'm trying to be. I'm trying to keep positivity with the players.
No, you just want the redemption. That's all you want.
No. Let him talk.
No. I'm actually trying to keep positivity with the players because we can criticize them, which is amazing, which is great, and that's what we do. Fine, but actual abuse and slander doesn't help. The same thing happened.
We're not abusing him though.
No. I'd not say you guys, so that's why you have to listen.
Oh, you're talking about other people.
Yeah, because Tammy got abused racially last season. Reece James got abused. Xhaka at Arsenal got abused to the point where he told the fans to fuck off. Karius got scapegoated at Liverpool. These things always happen with players, so I'm trying to make sure that our fans and stuff like that are not toxic. So that's why I'm trying to be positive.
But I get what you're saying, but that doesn't correlate. What you should say is people shouldn't abuse him.
And I've said that on. And I've also said that on Twitter.
But what you're saying now, you're not saying that. What you're saying, you're saying it now, but before that wasn't what you were saying. You were basically saying he has improved a bit, which he hasn't.
No. In terms of the game, you can say he was still terrible, and yes, I do agree. But based on last season, there's got to be some sort of improvement, and I saw a bit.
Where?
We're asking you where. We're asking you where.
Okay, well, for example, they got like a corner or something, and he came out and he punched it.
No, he didn't.
And then they had the corner, and it went over.
Okay, fine. Yeah, and that's why I said a slight improvement.
I'll call the defense improved, but that was mainly from Zuma. I saw a ball come in and Zuma got his head to impede it.
What are you guys not? What are you guys not hearing that I'm saying?
I don't understand where has Kepa himself improved? The defense improved.
Okay, when I say what you did? Okay,
the Lewis dunk cross. The Lewis dunk cross that happened.
Yes.
Kepa should come claim that. If that's Mendy,
did you hear when I said slight improvement? I did not say he's being better. I did not say
we're asking.
He's still terrible.
Hold on, guys. Hold on, guys.
We're going around in circles here.
That's what I just said.
Let me hold that there. So I think what they're getting at is Prime, is that saying a slight improvement does equate to someone being better than they was before.
Yes.
And what they can't see how there has been a slight improvement at all, and neither can I really. But I'm gonna take it from this perspective, because us five, we all know how we are. We all know our opinions with Kepa. But forward, I want to hear from you. What is your opinion on Kepa? And do you agree with Prime where he says there's been a slight improvement from yesterday's match?
Okay, first and foremost, thanks for having me on the show. Even watching from afar, I gotta say, big up you guys, because it's good to have like another really good, fresh Chelsea influence in social media. So obviously, first of all, big up you guys. You guys have been doing a really good job.
Appreciate it.
Again, I didn't want my first topic to be Kepa because I'm gonna keep it PG-13 here. But I mean, regarding Kepa, it's way too early. It's way too early to say whether you've seen an improvement or not. You just gotta be real with it and say, is he good enough for Chelsea based on even his performance? If you want to just isolate it to one performance, is that good enough for Chelsea Football Club? Answer is simply no. I mean, for me, the worrying thing now, I wasn't surprised by the fact that he didn't save the shot. I'm not surprised by even the fact that he flapped out corners. What's really annoying me right now and worrying me is that you can clearly see teams are targeting him. You can clearly see managers are telling their players, when you get near the goal, it's shoot on sight when it's Kepa and goal. Well, even for corners now, they're not only whipping the corners into Chelsea, into Kepa, they're literally putting 6 or 7 man in the 6-yard box and putting pressure on him because they know as soon as it goes into there, there's nobody's going to take real authority of that situation. So ultimately for me, Kepa isn't good enough. And right now we need to look to hopefully have Mendy starting for Liverpool game, because I even said going into this game, I predicted a 3-1 game with Kepa conceded a howler and it came to fruition. And I'm hoping that's going to be enough for Lampard to see, Mendy should come in instantly and play against Liverpool.
Can I just say, Prime, even if you look at the game, our defense did no wrong. Do you know what I mean? So when you got a defense that's good, that all the team can do from then on when it's resolute is shoot from outside the box.
Yeah.
And which they did, and it literally led to a goal. Do you know what I mean?
To your point, what did I say last season? The fact that with a better defense, or even in the summer before the season started, a better defense, Kepa will look better. I'm not saying he doesn't goalkeeper, but he will look better.
But but still, the defense was solid yesterday, right?
I
Am I right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So
the defense
I got to interject. I got to interject. Hold up. For me, if you're talking about a goalkeeper that's better of the back four that's in front of him, well, last season we conceded the third least amount of shots on target, and Kepa still looked awful. I mean, right now he's conceded more goals outside the box than any other goalkeeper in the league. So it's not about the defense in front of the goalkeeper. You know how good a goalkeeper is when you watch him week in, week out, and it's clear to everybody in the fan base. We're not going to abuse him, we're not going to cuss him out. We're not flying banners over the stadium. It's just ultimately he's not good enough. It's simple.
No. I'm not saying he is good enough. You guys aren't understanding what I'm saying.
I ain't gonna lie.
Try and explain it in layman's terms, because all we're hearing now is that he's better than he was last season, and that kind of
based off of the one game. And based off of the one game,
it's been based off of 2 seasons. It's been based off of 2 seasons.
Prime. He's just not good enough, mate. He's not good enough.
Who's that coming from? It's not me. It's not me.
You're telling me he's not good enough, as if what? I don't know that. I've been saying that as well.
So why did you try to say it's one game? It's been for 2 seasons now. He's not been good enough.
We were just talking about this one game. No?
Do you know what though? This is becoming a boring conversation for me.
I said that 2 minutes into this, we're going back in circles.
Yeah, no, this is what I'm saying. We keep going like that, and it's just.
He's clearly not good enough.
He's like Marmite. You either love
that's the end of it.
Just move.
That's the end of it.
It is what it is. Like,
yeah, let's move on.
Basically, I'm just trying to keep.
Kepa redemption, we know, yeah.
Positive. Positive.
I think Prime has a point in the fact that we need to back our players. I don't necessarily think that Kepa needs to be backed any sort of way. Personally, he's been the worst goalkeeper in the Premier League, not just for Chelsea.
He's been. Listen, I've been watching. Hold on, Prime. I've been watching Chelsea for 25 plus years. Yeah. Kepa has been our worst goalkeeper. I'm talking about from Ed De Goy to Kudicini to Cech to Courtois to Bergovic to Schwarzer to Hilario. He's literally been the worst goalkeeper we ever had. Do you know what I mean? So I'm not even going to say more than that.
Statistically, he's the worst he's the worst goalkeeper in Europe, and he concedes. Effectively, when you look at his XG differential from how many goals he concedes to how many goals he should be conceding, he's the worst. He's conceded. He effectively has let in 13 more goals than he should do. That's how bad. And most goalkeepers, I think if you're a bad goalkeeper, the average is like -4 or -5. So that just shows you how bad he is. I mean, if you want to go online, there's literally a graph of like when you see Lionel Messi to how he converts his shots to his goals, he's like in his own league in the top right corner where he's ridiculous. There's another graph where it's goalkeepers conceding shots to conceding goals. He is in his own league. He is effectively Messi, but that bad. I'm sorry. I can't have it. I can't have it anymore. I've given up. I'm sorry.
That's so done. Gallo says Kepa should have saved that shot, but in his defense, Mount let Trossard have so much space to take the shot. He should have closed him down. Now we're talking about. Well, he's right. He is right. We're talking about defending our players, and Brian rightly said that we got to defend our players and all of that jazz. But how long are we going to defend Mason Mount being on the wing for? I'm going to swiftly change the topic because I'm tired of this. How long are we going to defend Mason Mount?
You can't.
I don't want to even go at Mason Mount.
Do you know what? Quickly, let me just say something about Mason Mount. Right, we can't actually. For me personally, I don't think we can blame Mason Mount because for me, I blame that on Frank Lampard because Frank Lampard's playing him out of position. That's not his position, the wing. If you watched him yesterday, he's not a natural winger. He's kept coming inside where Ruben Loftus-Cheek was, and it just got too congested. And it's just not his position. He's not used to it. So at the end of the day, if you're going to play people in positions that they're not used to, what do you expect? Do you know what I mean?
But that's the problem we had. I get that. Give me a sec. I get that. However, Mason Mount has played wing for us last season, out of position, whatever you may call it, and there have been some games where he's played well. No. I don't think so. No. I don't think so.
He's not a wizard.
Every time.
Wait. Do you mean games out wide or games in general?
Every time he's played out wide, I can remember every single game. He's not. You can tell he's not a wide player. He's been horrible there, and it's the same thing with Loftus-Cheek. First game back after lockdown against Aston Villa, Lampard tried to play him out wide. Same thing, wasn't effective, didn't work. So like Jem said, we can't even blame the Loftus-Cheeks or the Mount in a situation, the only person you can blame is Lampard, isn't it?
Did he not play well against Spurs?
Who?
He played out wide.
Who?
That was a little bit different because he played in a front three. And he played inside forward position.
He's not comfortable there. That's the problem. You watch him, he don't look comfortable.
Against Tottenham, he didn't have a standout game. That game was Williams, so I'm not even going to have that one. It was Williams' game.
Her question was not standout. She said good game.
I'm saying good game.
Not even. I think we need to stop. Play him in his position.
The thing is, you lot are somewhat blinded. Hold on. You lot are somewhat blinded by Williams' 2 goals in that game, and we won. But it doesn't negate the fact that certain players had a poor game in that game. The Tottenham game we're talking about. That doesn't negate that fact. In that game, Mount wasn't really good. We just was blinded by Willian scoring his 2 goals. Do you know what I mean? So yeah.
Even against United when he was playing on the wing, he got a goal, yes. But in the context of it, the goal he scored shouldn't have gone in. Guy didn't do anything the whole game.
Yeah.
And he's playing out. Stop playing him out wide. Loftus-Cheek. You've got a winger on the bench. I understand. We had this conversation yesterday about, Hudson-Odoi might not be doing the right things and this, that, and the other. But I think it is getting to the stage where Lampard is just picking him because he's Mason Mount, and the media's going, "Oh, this is the next kid, blah, blah, blah," and he's just picking him. You have to play players in their position. You've got a winger on the bench. Play him when there's a wing spot available, or quite simply loan him out or sell him. That's actually what you have to do.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I want Callum Hudson.
There's no point in keeping him about.
I want Callum Hudson-Odoi in our team. I want him playing. But if there's obviously something, there's obviously something there. Lampard's obviously we don't know about in it because we're not in. We don't work for Chelsea or we're not in the team in it. If he's not playing, then because look at it, we only have 3 wingers. Yeah, we only have 3 wingers. 2 of them are out. Yeah, we've got a game coming up and we're playing with width. Yeah, why is that one winger that we do have not playing? It boggles my mind. I'm confused. Something's not right. I don't know what's going on. Someone tell me.
With Hudson-Odoi, it can only be one thing. For me, it's got to be what we said yesterday, attitude. Because if he can't get in that team and he's our only out and out winger, he just must not be performing to the level in training that he should be. Why would you not play him if he's we know? Look, with Hudson-Odoi, we know he's got natural ability. We know how good he can be on the ball. Yeah, but there's something obviously going on in the backgrounds in training that Lampard does not like. For him to play Mason Mount out of position and put him into that position, there's something not adding up there. Do you know what I mean?
I think everyone's got fair points on that, but at the end of the day, Lampard is the manager. Lampard knows best. He knows what he's doing. Well, to an extent. But
I don't even think it's that. I think Frank is the sort of guy where if you perform well in training, you will clearly pick you based on the amount of times where Mount has consistently been playing. Clearly that he's performing in training, as well as the fact that Frank favours him. I think it's Hudson-Odoi is not really performing in training.
Forward, do you have kind of the same consensus? Is this what you're thinking as well with the whole Mount playing ahead of Callum Hudson-Odoi? Is it an attitude problem in training, or does Lampard just favour the guy?
I agree with the consensus that it's an issue. That for me personally, I don't have an issue with Mount as a player, but certainly the fact that Lampard likes to shoehorn him into the team in positions that he's not comfortable in, I think that is an issue, and that is to the detriment of the actual team. And for me, look at it, for a start, I'm a big believer in Callum Hudson-Odoi, and going into this season, I thought he's going to have a tough time on his hands being behind Pulisic and Ziyech, but he would get enough minutes to prove himself as a player. And once I found out, obviously, Ziyech got injured in the Brighton game, Pulisic is still just coming back from his injury. I thought this is the perfect game for Hudson-Odoi to really step his authority on the game and really show that, I'm here to fight for my shirt and fight for my place in the starting lineup. And the fact that Lampard dropped him, not for another winger, but for Mason Mount on one side and play Ruben and the number 10 position and Havertz on the right, I think that's just a major red flag in terms of either Lampard doesn't rate what Callum's doing in training, maybe, and I don't want to speculate saying that maybe he's not training well or anything like that, because I've not heard anything to suggest that he's a very bad trainer or he's got a bad personality or anything like that. But for me, if I'm Callum, I'm looking to maybe leave, because how can you not start a game like this against Brighton where they're playing a back five and you can go 1v1 against a Lamptey and then get 1v1 with Ben White or one of the other centre backs? I think this was the perfect game for him, and ultimately you're playing 3 number 10s against Brighton. It's not what you should be doing. So I was disappointed like a lot of you guys with the performance, happy with the result, but a lot of questions. I mean, going into this game, we had a lot of questions in terms of how we're going to play and what's the team going to look like with the new signings, with a lot of players going into their second full season. And I've come out a bit asking even more questions. I'm thinking, how could you not start Hudson-Odoi in this kind of game? It's mind-boggling, honestly.
Yeah, and I thought if you would have seen Lamptey just doing what he was doing, if you had Callum Hudson-Odoi on that side, he would have pushed Lamptey back and not given him that freedom to just do whatever he wanted to do to Alonso. Do you know what I mean? So it was just bad. It was bad, man. It was bad. I'm not even gonna lie.
But okay, the thing is, Callum came on for like what was it, like 20 minutes or so?
Yeah.
I mean, okay,
no, only 10. Only 10.
Only 10. Okay, assuming that there is a problem in house, what can we actually do with that issue? What are the options to loan him out after giving him a new contract? He's now on 100K a week. Like, can we actually loan this? Who's going to take him? Who's taking him?
You can't loan him out. What people keep forgetting is we haven't got enough wingers. Do you want to see Mason Mount playing left wing every time Pulisic and Zizic get injured? It doesn't make any sense.
It looks like that's going to be the case.
Then we don't have enough. We don't have enough wingers, and yet he's not even playing.
It says, listen, Lampard's got to play him. I'm sorry to say, he's got to play him.
He's got to play him.
Yes.
But we're all saying he's got to play him. Boys, like, it's looking like that's not going to happen. Like, it's going to be a Mount before Callum all day, every day. And when our first team gets back here, think of it this way: he ain't starting ahead of Pulisic. If Ziyech can play out wide, Ziyech is going to play out wide. If Mount is available, Mount will play. You know, like nothing's going to work for Callum at this point. So what are the options? I want to hear options.
If I'm Callum Hudson-Odoi, personally, I said this before he signed that contract when Bayern was in for him. I said it straight. I said, leave. Right. Chelsea is not going to work for you. And if I'm Callum Hudson-Odoi right now, looking at that game, it might be the first game, so maybe we are overreacting, and maybe he is going to get game time later on. But if he doesn't, if I'm Callum Hudson-Odoi for the sake of my career, I'm gone. I'm leaving. I am leaving. I'm sorry to say this, but I would love to see him play, but if I'm being honest here and I'm an honest football fan, I don't lie, he should leave. It's as simple as that.
Who's going to take him?
Bayern Munich. Seems like they love him.
Someone will take him.
If you're Callum Hudson-Odoi, it would make. I mean, there's teams being linked to Callum Hudson-Odoi, so I don't believe there's any shortage of suitors who would want to pick him up if he was available. But ultimately, for Chelsea, as Nita's answering, what are the options? I mean, for Chelsea, you're not going to want to let go of him because that's another spot in the squad you would have to fill if he was to leave. So he's not going to be let go by any stretch of the imagination. No. It's just disappointing for me, for fans like myself and Monster who believe in this guy and seen him come up through the youth and know that he's a very talented boy who can go straight to the top. Not being given a chance on the first day of the season where all the circumstances go in the game were perfect for him to go and start this game.
Yeah.
The only thing I will say is when you look at go on,
David.
I was going to say, when you even look at when they perform, like, it's not like Odoi's playing and he's not performing. He's like, his goal to game ratio, I think he's got he gets a goal contribution every 120 minutes when he plays. This isn't in all competitions. This is just Premier League. It's not like he's performing badly. He's performing. In fact, he gets more goal contributions when he's playing at left wing than Mason Mount does. So even if he's not performing well in training, but you know that on the match day he clearly is better in that position than Mount, why are you trying to negate yourself because of something that, yes, it's important, but ultimately you win matches on the game day. Like Eden Hazard, we all know wasn't the best in training.
Yeah.
But on the game day, guy's the best guy to go to. So you wouldn't bench him because he's a bad trainer when you know that, he may be a bad trainer, but when he goes into the game, he's different.
But it's kind of an age thing,
to me, he should have started.
I think we need to.
On that point, it's kind of an age thing, yeah. You don't want a young footballer to think that he doesn't have to go through training to be able to play on that day. You understand? Like you got to install that in him, that you got to train hard if you want to play. You can't let him get complacent. So if that is the case that he isn't training hard, just for the record, we are not saying that Callum doesn't train hard in training. We're not saying that always. Someone's background is loud. Sorry. I'm muting everyone real quick. I'm getting everyone back one by one. I'm trying to find out who the culprit is. I don't know who it is, but someone's thing is loud. But as I was saying, yeah, if it is a thing of training that he's not training well in training, then I back it. I back it for Lampard. I back it. Honestly.
I think we just need to. I think we just all need to calm down a little bit. At the end of the day, it's only the first game of the season. He might end up playing him in the next couple of games. Who blimmin' knows? So let's just let's just wait and see what he's going to do. The other thing we've got to remember is he's brought all these players. It's half the team we've actually replaced. He's probably still sussing out who, where, what, why, who can I put there, who can I not put there. So just let him do his thing for now. Do you know what I mean? But he hasn't. He's got to really suss it out quickly. That's what I'm going to say.
Do you not think he should have some sort of an idea?
He probably does, but with Havertz and people like that, he probably thinking, try him in different areas. You know what I mean? See what he gets out of them. Like,
yeah. Daniel Adewumi says, we said the same things when Pulisic was being benched for Mount on the wing. Lad's 19 with injury troubles. Let him have one injury-free Premier League season first.
He only had one injury. That was the previous season. He hasn't had a lot of injuries. Actually, I'm wrong on that. Actually, he's had 2. But I guess ever since lockdown, we haven't really seen him in it. But I'm just, now I get what this guy's saying, but now he's fit and there's no available wingers but him. It's kind of like you should be starting him. It's just like saying, you don't have 4 fit centre backs. You have 1. You don't play a defensive midfielder or a left or right back in defense ahead of the defender, do you? Do you know what I mean? It just doesn't make sense.
To say that with a lack of a preseason?
Yeah,
he's trying.
He played the preseason.
Yeah, he used.
No, I mean in terms of it was one game.
Yeah, but
and then everyone went on international break. Yeah, I know he played, but it's one game, and then everyone went on international break. So he's trying to slowly work everyone back. Plus, we have Liverpool next. There's no point him if he plays this game and he starts and he picks up a knock, then he's out for Liverpool.
But that can happen.
You don't really have any winners, and that could happen either way.
But that means his first game coming in with his potential injury, if we're going to go with that, is Liverpool. Does make sense.
And he's one of the guys that has had the most minutes because he played pre-season. He played, I think, 2 internationals for the under-21s. So he's actually played minutes, and he looked good in the under-21s too. So he's had time. He's played. It looks like he could. He probably is more in shape than most of these guys. So I just don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. We don't know anyway. We don't know, so we'll see in it.
Yeah. Gemma, you about to say something?
No, go on. No.
So, okay, this kind of brings me to my next point here about Lampard and his decision making. So we basically justified why Callum Hudson-Odoi should be playing. We are 6 people from wherever we're from, and we know that Callum Hudson-Odoi should be playing. So what is it that Lampard doesn't see? So we got to think of it this way. Is Lampard's decision making something that we can rely on during this season? But it seems to be such a liability at the moment, and Chelsea fans are already not happy with his team selection yesterday, which had 0 whip, as Monster said yesterday as well, 0 whip, and it just looked like we were clueless as well. So I'm going to start with forward, yeah? Literally, tell me, is Lampard's decision making something that we should be worried about for next season?
I mean, I think it's we've seen enough evidence now to ask the questions, not necessarily to be concerned or to start ranting about it or anything like that. But I think we've seen enough to certainly question his methods, and I just wonder really what he's doing. And I mean, for me personally, I would just love to see some of these reporters ask some of these questions about why he's not starting a Hudson-Odoi, really starting no wingers at all, or why he's moving even Ruben Loftus-Cheek to the number 10 position. Because for me, I've always thought Ruben is a lot better as a number 8, where he can kind of face the game and actually dribble forward. So it's one of them ones. And even for me, Kurt Zouma playing at left centre back. I think it did help certainly yesterday with the fact that Alonso's lack of pace was getting absolutely drilled by Lamptey all game. But I think long term, I think Zouma's just a lot more comfortable on the right side of the defence. But certainly for me, Lampard's decision making with certain things is a little bit questionable. Also, his game management, I do feel like he kind of affected games a little bit sooner. I think he did make the sub a little bit earlier yesterday, even coming up in the 60th minute. But I think you could see from the first 10, 15, that second half that we were getting absolutely dominated. With Ruben, he wasn't really offering much on the ball, and even off the ball, I think his work rate was very low. He ran the least kilometers of anybody at that point when he got taken off. So Yeah, I think for me, Lampard could certainly improve in a lot of aspects. But again, he's only his third now full season of management. I think he did really well with us last season. I think people can be quick to forget what he did last season. So absolutely, it's not certainly a cause for concern or time to raise the alarm. But I think certainly we can, as fans, ask questions and wonder what his methods really are.
And it's funny that you touch on that. Yeah. So two things I got from that was that he's a young manager. Yeah, he's still new to the game. And last season, he did all right for us, even though he did make some questionable choices. Now, a young manager, questionable choices, fam, we're Chelsea, fam. Do you understand? Like, we need a manager who's certain in what they are doing. We need a manager who can say that they're going to put a doy on the team, but it made so much of a difference. Understand? Now, Monster, I don't know what your opinion is on Lampard and his decision-making from last season, but what do you expect to change this season?
What do you want my biased opinion, or do you want my actual opinion?
Do you know what? Give me both. Start with the biased one.
My biased opinion is I will always back Lampard all day, all night, innit? Yeah. So no matter what, how bad, whatever, I'm going to back him. My unbiased opinion, my honest opinion, Lampard has shown signs, that I'm me being honest. I'm seeing what a lot of people from other, people that support other clubs are saying when they say Lampard is inexperienced and he might not know what he's doing. I've seen that. I've seen a lot. I saw it last season. I didn't say anything because I will always back my manager in it. But if you can see the game, you will know what I'm talking about. If you look at the game from an unbiased perspective, you can see there's so many mistakes Lampard makes. Do you know what I mean? There's just whether it's substitutions, whether it's starting players in certain positions, it just seems like with certain players they're gonna start no matter what. Do you know what I mean? And that needs to change. Do you get what I'm saying? He needs to realize this is Chelsea Football Club. He probably doesn't understand it because he's played, but he's never been manager. You need to understand it, Frank. They're not gonna play. They're not playing this season if you don't fix up. They're gonna sack you. No one cares about you being a legend. And Chelsea, a lot of Chelsea fans don't seem to realize this. Roman is not going to care. If you mess up, he's going to fire you. Do you know what I mean? So it's up to him. So I'm just being honest here, innit? I'm just going to say my opinion. So, yeah.
I like that honest opinion, to be honest. I agree with you. Is everyone else in agreement with that? Because he's been making
100%.
He's lucky he won yesterday. If we had dropped points yesterday, serious questions. That's literally it.
I'm a bit opposite to you. I'm not going to be saying anything about him until I see at least a good 10-15 games of the season played, because for me, he's inexperienced. We've got to bear that in mind. You know what I mean? He is inexperienced. He's going to make these mistakes. Yes, he hasn't got a lot of time to keep making these mistakes because, like Monster said, he will get the sack. They will get rid of him eventually. But you just got to give him the benefit of the doubt. He's got a load of new players coming in, and I think we've just got to back him and see how it goes. Really.
Yeah, but that's why I said my bias will always back him in it. I'm just being honest, like with the other opinion in it. That's just
Defo, I agree.
Sorry, I'm seeing a lot of slander in the comments over Prime. Listen, if you lot are gonna slander Prime, get off my damn stream. Like,
I don't mind. I mean, at the end of the day, they're all in the comments.
It's weird. It's weird. It's weird.
That's cool. I think with Frank, I mean, look, at the start of things, I wouldn't have hired him. You don't bring an inexperienced coach into a big club. Doesn't matter if he's a legend. He came. The expectations of any Chelsea manager, at least, is to get top four and possibly win a trophy. You got top four. You got to a final. He lost. Now with all these players that were brought in, give these players to Mourinho in his prime or Fergie or whoever. The expectations for them is to win the league. Now with Frank, it's to at least finish third and challenge, win a trophy. Yeah. If he doesn't do all that, then more than likely, knowing what Roman's like, he has to be sacked. And people have to realize that.
Season or for his time?
What?
Is that only for just this season or for his duration at Chelsea?
What do you mean?
This season. So he has to win a trophy or come forth this season, or he's out the door.
In terms of the season, yeah. Because you have to remember, with Frank, he's probably our greatest ever player. Fine. Mm-hmm. But as a manager, I back my managers, but he hasn't shown me anything to say that.
That's not our choice though. Him getting fired. Sorry, Prime. That ain't our choice. Him getting fired.
Yeah.
It's what Roman's going to do, and I know Roman. Roman is definitely not. It doesn't matter if it's Frank Lampard or not. Like once said, he is going. If he does not win, if he doesn't finish higher than third and win a domestic trophy, he's going. End of. That's what I said.
One of the weird things is...
No, I disagree with that, to be honest. I disagree with that. And I say that just because recently with Roman, I think there's been more of an emphasis on the club to actually build a long-term project. I think that was going to be the case of Sarri, but obviously he got a homesick, got the perfect job opportunity with Juventus to go back home. And also, having said that, Hazard was leaving, transfer ban, so there was not really incentive to want to stay at the club. But what I heard from the club, we were ready to back him and actually build at least a 2-3 year plan with him.
But then that plan was accelerated.
Forward. What is Roman Abramovich's attitude been the last 15 years, mate? And why have we won so many trophies?
Oh, don't get me wrong. Over the last, I look at it as a 2-part period, right? I look at it for the first 12 years. Certainly, whenever a manager was not doing well, at least for me, up until about 2013, when a manager was not doing well, yes, he would act and quickly move on to the next manager, 100%. But for me, as a fan watching this club, I understand that we can get short-term success in Antonio Conte when Mourinho came back, and it's great for a period. But then the fall off is so steep the next season that it's not worth the hassle of, yes, we bring in players like Alonso and players who can go and do a job for one season. That's, for me, it's not worth it when you can go and build a dynasty for 3, 4, 5 years like what Man City have done.
Ford, would you not say
so
that's
I only see back in Lampard long term.
Ford, would you not say that would also be, there's not a point to say that would be due to the squads at the time and the spine. For example, but when Roman came up until what you said, 2013, we had probably one of the best spines in world football. So the leadership in the team and players that we brought in of quality, we were always going to win things. So you bring in Jose, Conte, whoever, we're still going to win things. Even with Di Matteo, we're still able to win the Champions League. So we're always going to win things. Then you go from Jose, third season, he's not really back. We bring in Conte, we back him, we win the league. Second season, we don't back him, we finish 6th and win the FA Cup. If you're not backing the managers, it doesn't matter if you sack them every 2-3 years. Yes, you'd love consistency, but if you're not backing them with sufficient players and building a squad, then it doesn't matter. Which is why I say with Frank, at least if or when he does get sacked or he does leave, he will leave us with a better squad for the next manager to come in and continue this attacking philosophy.
While that is true, yes, the reason why I say Abramovich is so elite, let me just finish this point, which is, again, while I agree, yes, Lampard is leaving us a better squad. Ultimately, the reason why Abramovich is going to be allowing Lampard to have a longer tenure and to be have a longer leash in terms of not jumping the gun and sacking him prematurely is because we've seen in the past where managers will leave and the players that they've brought in don't suit the next manager's needs. So what's the point in Lampard coming in now, bringing all these players like a Havertz, a Werner? Let's say with the next manager who comes in doesn't fancy these guys, then we've almost blown 70, 80 million down the drain. I think for me, it's clear that we're going to have to if we want to have a long-term success, and we definitely have the nucleus to do that with these young players coming from the academy and with the signings that we've made, it makes sense to give Lampard as much chance as he deserves. Now, again, if we finish 7th, 8th, and not win a trophy, of course, at that point, the questions should be asked and maybe he should be sacked. But we finish 3rd, 4th, don't have the greatest of seasons, but we see signs of progression from last season. And I see absolutely no reason why we should sack the manager, especially if things are looking good in the cup competition as well.
I think the way you're talking is what we all want, which is the fans' opinion. But I don't think it's Roman's opinion. That's my honest opinion.
That's what we're saying. We're saying.
But we're saying.
I
think as long as he finishes top 4, he's fine. I feel like if he finishes 4th this year, Roman will be like, you can't have this again, but you'll keep his job. If he finishes 5th, and we effectively go backwards, then it's a.
Also, context also matters in those situations as well.
Yeah, forward. What we're saying is we're not giving up. We're saying no matter what, we want to back Lampard all the way. We're just saying we're not like people are saying we're being reactionary. We're not saying our opinion here. We're saying what we think Roman's gonna do based on what he has been doing. As far as us, we back Lampard all the way. We don't want him out. Do you know what I mean? we want to stay on with him. We back him all the way, man. You know what I mean?
At the end of the day, we've got to go based on our history, and our history shows that we do that. So,
do you know what? It's not.
And I've got no problem with you guys thinking that might be the case.
Yeah.
Go on, Ania.
I was going to just say, I've got no problem with you guys thinking that might be the case. I think personally, just what we've seen recently with the likes of Czech coming in, I think my audience is a bit delayed, which is why there's been a bit of a trouble with the feedback. But I'll just finish my point, which is that I think we've seen with the likes of obviously Czech coming in, Hilario, plenty of other ex-legends coming into the club that we're trying to build a nucleus around Lampard to succeed. And ultimately, if he fails, then he failed. We're trying to actually build a platform for us to succeed long term, not just come in, win the league, and then finish 10th in the season. None of that. We're trying to build a sustainable team, and I see that Abramovich has changed his ways now. If Lampard finishes 4th, then I guess we can revisit and see who's right and wrong. But that's just my personal belief.
Yeah.
Fact. But do you know what? Guess what? It's not gonna matter. Why Monster? Because we're finishing first. Ain't that right? So,
Facts.
That ain't gonna matter. I think we're done with the negativity.
Monster's
DJ
I
Sam.
think
We're
Monster's
done
the
with
only one here.
I agree with
the only one who predicted.
I'm not scared. I'm not scared. I believe in this team, man. Like, I've seen the way they play. I just feel, we get if we get wingers in there, then it would have been. And even if it was Chilwell or even Azpilicueta played on the left hand side, which he can play on the left hand side, it would have been a totally different game. And we would have. And look here, we still slapped them 3-1. Do you know what I mean? They still got slapped. Let's not forget that they still did get slapped. So let's not get it twisted, people.
It's good to dream, mate. That's all I can say. You've got to dream, brother.
Think about it this way, yeah. We all saw the lineup yesterday, yeah. We all were thinking, what the hell is this? The first 45, 60, 70 minutes, we're still thinking, like, what the hell is this? Cool. At the end of the day, if we play like that last season, we've lost that match.
Yeah,
DJ has a point. We've lost that match. We play like that this season, and we still managed to beat them 3-1.
Yes.
Bear in mind, Brighton, I think they had more shots than us. They had more possession than us. They had more of the ball than us, but we still managed to do it 3-1. Now, listen.
That's a convincing defeat.
Listen.
It's convincing.
Come on. I'm convinced, even though...
And it should have been 3-0 if not for that, for Kepa's...
Hey. You shall not be named in this stream anymore. Voldemort, fam. That's who Kepa is. He who shall not be named. Anyway,
all I'll say is this: we have serious squad depth this season. You look at last season, and we were struggling to figure out who to really start, or would we go at the back in certain games to figure teams. Now we have actual squad depth. So if that means we start like Barkley, Mount, Ruben Loftus-Cheek against Brighton, and we're able to win 3-1, that's fine.
I want to big up Ross Barkley though. Yesterday, he came on in the game, and I feel like we had more control of it. When he came on, he was holding the ball up. Wait, Dave. It doesn't matter. When did you watch Ruben Loftus? Did you watch Ruben Loftus-Cheek before that?
Yeah, she's going to get to that. Wait, guys, she's going to get to that. She's going to
We'll get to it, but no negativity because we've been too negative for the last 20
I get that. We won at the end of that. Right now. Yeah, we won.
Let me switch up before we come to Barkley. Let me switch up and let's big up Werner. What Werner gave us yesterday is what we've missed for like 6 good seasons, fam. Since Drogba left, I don't care. Costa left. Since Costa left, that's what we've been missing for about good 5-6 seasons. Now, I want to dwell so long on this, because we've got our rivals in the comments talking bad. You lot talk bad. When Werner comes up against you, we're gonna get him behind you.
And he was injured for most of the game as well. After the penalty, he was injured. He's walking around with a dead leg, and he's still carrying the ball like around people so easily.
The thing that impressed me the most about him was his overall movement on the ball, but not just that. When he had the ball, it was his sharpness, and the guy can run. Did you see how quick that guy was, man?
You're gonna hear about it. Don't worry. You're gonna hear about it.
He was different class. He stood out compared to all the other players on the pitch yesterday. He stood out the most for me by far.
Facts. Werner was the winger. He was the number 10. He was the number 9. His movement was impeccable. I haven't seen movement like that from a Chelsea side in so long, and I hate to say it, but I literally I can't even say it on this channel, so I'm not even gonna say nothing because last night someone made a very inappropriate comment, so I'm gonna keep it PG so I don't get any comments like that again. Prime, talk to me about Werner. How excited are you to see him for the rest of this season?
I love the guy. I've been watching him forever. I'm so happy he's here, and we'll tear defenses apart with him.
Period.
Pulisic, Havertz. Yeah, we'll tear defenses apart.
Period.
Imagine a certain team playing a high line in maybe next week or in a couple of weeks, and we play a ball over the top, and it's Trent versus Werner. I wonder who's winning that race. Like, I'm sorry, the guy's rapid.
Yeah, David,
David, absolutely rapid. I'm sorry,
David. You can't say imagine a certain team, then say Trent. Come on, man. Like, come on. You're already know what you're talking about. You already know.
I don't care.
There was one point he was in the corner, he shot, and it was on target. I haven't seen a striker do that in years. I'm so happy.
Yeah. Listen, I'm flipping excited, man. I can't even stop smiling at what I was seeing, man. This Sunday, pray for our bloody rival, man. No one can talk nothing.
It's Werner against a certain Virgin Van Maguire. Do you know what I mean? That's who he's looking like right now. Virgin Van Maguire.
It's just his pace, isn't it? When he gets the ball and he stops dead and then he goes again. I've never seen someone move so quick. It's like a Speedy Gonzalez. He's just like,
it's not just that. His movement, his ability to beat players as well. He does beat players.
He's good with the ball, isn't he? He's good with it.
And all those fans saying his hold-up play, he can't play as a striker. Yeah, let's watch.
I'm sorry, did we not see him yesterday? He should have had a goal himself, but a certain two players, I won't mention them, but two players could have played a very simple ball and he would have got 2 goals. And the thing I know about him as well, guy can finish. The guy can finish. Have you seen the training video where he's chipping keeper and
lobbed him and everything?
But David, that's a shot on goal. Not be naming goal. Relax.
What did you say?
All I say is this: did he not say?
I don't care. No goalkeeper saving that. No goalkeeper saving that.
Did he not?
Apparently,
did he not come out and shots on goal, scored 30. Did he not come out and say after the game that he's ready for Liverpool? He's going to score.
He needs to score quickly.
He said, "I'm ready for next game." He said, "I'm scoring next game." I hope he scores next game.
Werner said what?
He was like saying he's disappointed that he didn't score. Maybe I'll score next game.
Next game, that's what he said.
Can you see that? This
He's
guy's
sick.
a murderer, bro. Can you see that? Can you see that?
My guy.
That's been so long. And do you know what? Yeah. Forward, I don't see you smiling when we're talking about all of this. I'm looking at you a bit sideways at the moment. Were you not impressed with Werner? What was it?
No, I was very impressed. I mean, I'm a kind of guy like. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah. I was very impressed by Werner's performance. It wasn't going to be on the back of the newspapers or anything like that, but it was very quietly good. I mean, what excited me was his energy, was his work ethic. I think he ran the second most of anybody on the pitch, only behind, of course, N'Golo Kante. And I mean, his willingness to take shots. I think he had more shots than anybody on the pitch. And yeah, I just love his energy, man. He runs the channels really well, and we've not had anybody with that kind of electric pace up front probably since Nicolas Anelka. But what I would say is, and I'm not saying he's better than Nicolas Anelka because he was a fantastic player for us. He won the Golden Boot, but Werner's a lot more direct, and he's going to make a lot more incisive runs. That's really going to split back lines. And I mean, again, I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but for the Liverpool game, I mean, against that back line with how they like to play up high, I'm expecting big things, man, honestly. And I think it's going to see how we're going to play as well. So I can't wait for Sunday, honestly.
Listen, let's not talk about Sunday just yet. No licking your lips, no rubbing their hands. Let's not talk about it just yet. Can someone confirm that whenever Chelsea wins the opening game on a Monday night EPL, Chelsea wins the league next season?
Yes, that's true. That is facts.
Conte and Jose when he came back.
Big facts.
I mean, if you guys want to be foreshadowing,
when Jose came back, he also scored a wonder goal as well, courtesy of a Cesc Fabregas assist. Now a exchange goal, you never know.
Andre Schürrle, you're talking about?
Yeah, the Andre Schürrle one where he plays
I'm talking about the pass.
Yeah, that was world class.
I was thinking, I was very confused for a second about what you're talking about, because I didn't understand. Am I lagging? Am I behind?
No, you're cool.
Yeah, here.
Hopefully next game he plays with the 10 behind him. When someone can actually ping like a ball accurately to his feet, it's going to be a mess.
Cool. And no negativity. He had a 10 yesterday. No negativity. Come on. Come on. Anyway. So with Werner at the front line, how do you guys think we're looking? Well, how are our chances looking against Liverpool? I'm going to start with Jem because I feel like Jem gives the most like cool-headed responses. So Jem, I'm going to start with you.
Our chances against Liverpool, what are you asking me in terms of the score? Is that what we're talking about?
Okay, let's do score predictions.
I'm not doing that.
No, we're doing it. So you got enough mouth, you're doing it.
I feel confident that we can get a result against Liverpool, providing that he plays players in their blimmin' positions and doesn't do all this what he did against Brighton. If he plays Havertz behind Werner, if is Pulisic back? Do we know? Is he going to be back for next game?
Hopefully.
If Pulisic is back, if he's not back, then please play Hudson-Odoi. The only problem you have then is that you're probably going to see Havertz having to play on the other side because he's not going to put a Loftus-Cheek there or wherever. There may be a Mount, I don't know, but. I'm confident. I think Thiago Silva's going to come straight in. Hopefully Mendy comes and he goes in goal. The thing that worries me the most out of everything is the goal side of things. If he's in goal, we're just going to have the same repeat of what we had the other game with him where it was like 5-3. All you got to do is shoot on target at that guy. Do you know what I mean? It's just ridiculous. So for me, it just all depends on certain things here and there. But yeah, I'm confident we can get a result, and I think we can we're at home, aren't we? So I'm thinking, I think they'll score, but I'm going to go with a 2-1. Chelsea
2-1. And Sam, we see you in the comments, you hater. We're praying for you, Maggie. Sunday coming from Jem, praying for you, Maggie.
Focus on securing the funds for Thiago instead of watching us.
Yeah, broke boys. So the free broke boys. Anyway, guys, there's over 1,000 people watching this stream. Please hit the like button. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you hit that like button. David, I'm coming straight next to you. What's your score prediction and your expectations for this Sunday?
I know Kovacic is back. I know Kovacic is back in the side. I know Silva will probably be in the side. Chilwell is a bit of a hopeful one.
Damn, David, he lag out.
He did.
He's lagging.
He made
Oh God, his Ethernet's gone again. Plug it back in, mate.
David, you're lagging, David.
You're lagging, mate.
Talk Wi-Fi, fam. Is your Wi-Fi gone?
Wait, guys, can you hear me?
I'm
see you later.
Yeah.
Wait.
Oh, can you hear me now?
That's it, yeah.
Yeah, can you hear me?
You're gonna have to.
Yeah, okay. So, all right. I expect Silva, Kovacic, Pulisic, and hopefully Chilwell in the squad next game. So that will be a bonus. And with that, especially with the wingers that we know we have, it means that Havertz will then play in his natural 10 position. I have Werner up front, those two on wings. We saw what happened last time we played Liverpool when we played with wingers and counter-attacked. And I know that Frank knows that he can counter-attack because he did last year really well against City. And with that, we are going to beat him. We're going to beat him 2-1 because I think it still will be a close game. Hopefully Mendy's in goal, because if Kepa's in goal, then unfortunately all they have to have is two shots on goal. We have to score 3 goals. So
they're gonna give Trent free kick duty, fam. It's gonna be over and done with, honestly. Prime, what's your expectations and your score prediction?
Hello.
Prime, why do you always do this long pause?
Oh, mate, you take so long. Why don't you just talk?
He does that dramatic.
It takes even longer when you guys talk ahead of me, but okay. I expect a good performance from us. Liverpool can't be as shaky as they were last game. We're not going to put out the same lineup. I think it'll be close, but we'll edge it. 3-2?
3-2.
Yeah.
That's a high scoring match. All right, cool. Bet I'm gonna bring you up on that. Monster.
Now.
No, no. I'm coming to you last. Forward. Give me your score prediction and expectation. I'm coming to you last, Monster.
Yeah, for me, I think it's very dependent on the lineup. I mean, first and foremost, we're going up against Liverpool, so there's a certain respect that we have to pay to them as Premier League champions, and given the performances that they performed against us last season. But I mean, I have a lot of confidence in how we even played against them. I think if people forget the Super Cup where we were excellent against them and really should have won that game, and even the league game at home against them, I think we coped pretty well. Obviously, some wonder goals that they scored, obviously Trent and Firmino really caught us out in that first half, but for me, I feel like if we get the lineup right, and I think a big part of that is N'Golo Kante starting, which I think makes a massive difference to us in the big games. I feel like we can really cause them a lot of issues. And I see us going similarly with what we did against Man City, where we have 3 in the midfield and we have high energy players. I'm going to make a bit of a shout here, which I don't think a lot of people will agree with, but I would actually start Ross Barkley. And it's not necessarily for his talent or even for his mindset in playing against in big games, because I don't think he's necessarily a big game player. But having said that, I do think his legs and ability to work in that midfield, but at least the first 50 to 60 minutes is going to give us a little bit of an edge on them in the midfield battle. And I think that's where you've got to beat Liverpool. You have to match the legs of the likes of Henderson, Wijnaldum, Fabinho. You can't get outrun by them because you will just get overrun and you will get dominated in the midfield like we did at Anfield in the first half. So for me, I think providing Lampard gets the lineup right, which could even include Giroud up front as a target man and having Werner off the left, I think that's something that we could definitely implement this season. I'm going to go with a 2-1 win, and I'm not necessarily the most confident we're going to win the league. I'm not saying we're going to go win the Champions League this season, but for some reason, I'm extremely confident. If Lampard gets the lineup right, I'm extremely confident we're going to beat Liverpool.
I like the confidence, and I think you're right with the midfield. Yeah, we've got to outplay them in the midfield. We have to. Liverpool's midfielders, they are bloody workhorses, and that's the only thing that they have on anyone. They don't have the talent. They're just workhorses. Last but not least, this is going to be my favorite answer today. Monster, what's your prediction, your score prediction and expectation?
First of all, pray for Liverpool. I always say it. That's the number one thing I'm going to say. Number 2, Lampard needs to do it like this. Obviously, I don't think Chilwell's going to be back, so he needs to start James on the right. He needs to start Azpilicueta on the left. He needs him to go against Salah because we can't have Marcos Alonso going against Salah, innit? Obviously, Thiago Silva. In midfield, we need Culver and Kante. In front of them, I'm not sure yet whether we should play Havertz. I think forward might be right. For Barkley's athletic ability, you might want to start him, innit? So, but up front, Werner, hopefully Pulisic is back. We need to start... What's his name on the right? Callum Hudson-Odoi. I'm going to say now, if you start like that, with the front 3 rotating amongst each other, it's going to get peak for Liverpool and they're going to get smacked. And I reckon around 3-1, I say.
You don't think Ziyech will be back?
Oh, hold on. Monster, you give it up 4-0 a couple of weeks ago. What's going on?
No, I didn't. I never said Liverpool. I said 3-0 Liverpool, but I think we will concede. So 3-1, I go with.
Wait, what about Ziyech?
Ziyech shouldn't be. I don't think he'll be back.
No, he's not back. He's not back
He won't
until
be
early 26. Yeah, he's not back till 26.
And that right there will put Virgil van Dijk on fraud watch in that match. You know what I mean?
He's already on fraud watch.
You're going to see a lot of Liverpool fans crying and they're going to be pressuring FSG. Oh, we got to get Thiago, please. You know, let me do it in their accent. We've got to get Thiago, please, man. You know what I mean? You're just going to slap us. That's all you're going to hear them saying, bro. It's the beginning of the end, man. Your reign is over. You're no dynasty. You're no Golden State. It's over for you lot, man. This is it. Do you know what I mean?
Guys, does Ross Barkley have a short fuse?
Not when he plays against Liverpool. I think the last time I remember him playing against Liverpool, he played well. 2 of your midfielders ran the whole pitch and banged it
bang one into the back of the net.
He did. Relax yourself, Ram. Relax yourself.
You always love coming for him, man. But okay,
relax yourself about what?
He said that Ross Barkley will get a red card against Liverpool.
Yeah,
I didn't say that.
That's just Rams.
Not for Chelsea.
Wait, no, hold on. I didn't say that. Ram said that.
No, we're talking about Ram. We're talking about Ram.
Yeah. Oh, okay, cool. Okay, I thought you said me.
Sorry, give me a second. I feel like we should make up our starting 11 for this match because everyone's talking about who should start, who shouldn't start, blah, 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 blah. Oh, by the way, what numbers do I dial? Listen, drop me £100. 100 in the super chat. That's the number you should dial. Thank you.
Before we get into the lineups, Jorginho. What was everyone's thoughts about that game?
I'm coming back to that. I will come back to it. I promise you. I just want to keep it positive just for a hot minute. I'll come back to it. Alright, let me quickly share my screen. That's what I'll be saying at work. If I just share my screen. Share screen. Alright, cool. Let's build. This should be interesting.
Kepa.
No. Mendy, please. We need you.
No.
Sign the ting.
Kepa.
Sign the ting, please.
No, let's be positive. Come on, Kepa. You can do this.
Stop it.
Jam, you sound like an idiot right now. Let's start.
Oh, do I? This is how you sound when you talk. Yeah.
No, but at least I mean what I'm saying. No, I'm joking.
Yeah.
Mendy.
Sign the ting, Mendy, please. Sign the ting.
Right.
I wonder if he's on there.
The thing is, guys, we have to be logical because we haven't got Mendy yet, so we're going to have to not put Mendy in there. He's not a Chelsea player yet, so let's be logical.
No. I believe that like there will be he will be in my goal.
Needs. Let's just put Caballero in there, man, for now.
Yeah.
Until Mendy's confirmed.
No, Caballero is just as much of a fraud.
We don't have anyone else. We don't have anyone else.
Caballero's a fraud because of his age.
I'd rather have Kepa in goal.
Kepa.
Just put Caballero in there.
Let me go around. David, Kepa or Cappy?
Kepa.
Jem, Kepa or Cappy?
Ascolopeta.
Stop. Are you serious?
God.
I can't. This is a hard one for me.
You gotta pick one.
Cabby.
Forward, Kepa or Cappy?
Kepa easily, man. Come on.
Yeah.
All right, 2-1. Prime, Kepa or Cappy?
I said Caballero last night.
3-1. I don't really think this makes a difference. But Monster, Kepa or Cappy?
Caballero.
You can't start a 40-year-old man.
Oh, you lost that.
I'm sorry, but wasn't Van der Sar starting for Man United around 40 years old?
Yeah, but he was good, and he was actually good. Caballero.
No, you're putting it in the centre back.
Dave, he saves. Look, Kepa don't save. He does. He makes good saves.
I can't have a 70-year-old goalkeeper getting benched by a 40-year-old man. I can't.
Right, who's playing centre backs? Look,
we're not lost the faces clearly, but it's got to be Kepa.
Yeah, it's got to be Kepa.
Yeah, that's pretty simple.
Thiago Silva and Zuma. Yeah, straight up.
I'll go the majority. Okay.
I know you like
Zuma.
Rudy. I know you like Rudy.
Rudiger. Why was he
Rudiger's
benched
done.
then? Why was he benched?
He's done.
I think Zuma suited the Brighton match a bit better. I think with experience, Rudy would have been the better option.
No.
Rudiger against Salah because that's a good idea.
Rudiger will be hitting the ball out to corners under no pressure.
I don't want to hear from you haters. Forward, do you agree with me on the Rudiger stance or
no?
Look, Neats, I know I'm on here to back you, but I'm not on this one, man. Come on, Neats. Right. Never mind. Okay, so right back, we've got the one and only.
It's got to be the best right back in England, surely.
Yeah, by far.
England starting right back at the Euros.
10 times better than AWB. Who's AWB? He's crap.
Who's Trent? The same guy that can't defend.
Who's Trent?
Hey, you might have moving a bit mad still.
You ain't heard me say nothing, bro.
Anita, have you ever seen
Trent? Said nothing.
Have you ever seen Trent from open play? Keyword there, open play to suit the agenda. Score a 30-yard goal? No, I don't think I have. So it's got to be changed.
Have you ever seen Trent defend? No,
that's true as well. He's crap.
He's
crap.
You know what, right? Like over the weekend, watching the Liverpool match and watching Trent attempt to defend was absolutely comical. Like that guy is arse.
No,
you literally saw Pulisic.
The own goal that was luckily offside.
You literally saw Pulisic last season walk through their defense.
And Trent was up against what's his name, Jack Harrison. Man, it's mad.
Like. Liverpool fans, like I'm not even gonna apologize, but Trent at the back he's arse, but going forward we'll give it to him, innit?
Yeah, we'll give it to him. Yeah.
But like David said, we ain't seen Trent score from 30 yards out of open play, so it is what it is. Left back.
Aspi.
Chilwell, mate.
If Chilwell is
injured,
if Chilwell is fit,
he's not fit.
Then
he's injured.
Chilwell, but if not Aspi.
Is
I
he
don't
though?
think he's going to be back for the first two matches.
I wouldn't be shocked if he was in the team. I wouldn't be shocked.
I've got a feeling he's going to play Alonso. I don't know why.
I don't think he'll play Alonso after the match that he had against Brighton. Like,
He had a shocker.
Come on, man! Like, who's gonna be playing on Alonso's side for Liverpool?
Salah, Trent.
Come on! There's absolutely no way Alonso starts this match.
Chilly B.
No way. Centre mid. In fact, I didn't even pick the formation. We're not having 3 CMs, are we?
No,
2 and a 1. 2 and a 1.
Wait, so Barkley at 10.
Yeah, very funny.
Oh no, I thought you meant that Barkley playing that it's going to be a 3.
No,
Kovacic,
Kante, and then Havertz.
Yes,
That's what I'd have.
I
But
don't know why it's telling me. All right, B. Okay, there we go. That's much better. So, cover Kante.
well, this is the problem we've got.
Probably going to be Havertz, isn't it?
But this is the problem we got. We haven't got a winger to go on the right, and I've just got a feeling he's going to put Havertz there again, which probably tells me Mason Mount might go in the middle. That's what I think.
Stop.
This is what I think's going to happen.
Please.
David, forget your emotions. Jem is just telling you.
I'm just telling you.
Happen.
We ain't got no choice.
I understand, but I need to stop seeing it. Stop trying to shoehorn this kid in the team because it's only a disservice to him. Stop shoehorning him. Literally, it don't benefit anyone. He's just there running pitch like, nah.
But at least he'll be playing in his position anyway.
Yo, Samuel, everybody in the freaking world got roasted by the 19-year-old Canadian, man. What are you talking about? Everyone. You're lucky he didn't come against Wan-Bissaka. He would have got roasted too. Whatever team he supports.
Samuel's a Liverpool fan.
Well, Andy Robertson would have got fried.
He's a Liverpool fan. You're lucky that Atletico Madrid knocked you guys out because facing Bayern Munich, it's a myth.
Marcus Llorente, the DM, scored 2 goals against them. Literally, like
Morata scored.
Can we move on, man? Forget about it.
Come on, let's go. Come on. So who are we putting in the middle then?
We'll play Havertz. Like if it's the option that we're choosing, it's Havertz in the middle.
If I see Ruben Loftus-Cheek, I'm turning off the game. I'm turning off the game.
I'm sorry, guys. How much? 80 mil, 70 mil, 80 mil. It's got to be Havertz.
Has to be.
I just have that. You know what? I have that feeling you're going to see Havertz on the right, Mason Mount in the middle, possibly Pulisic on the left, Werner.
Yeah, that is exactly what I think.
Have that feeling. It's
exactly what I think. Same. I agree.
The sad thing is, and we'll come to this. The sad thing is, Havertz on the right isn't that much of a bad shout for what's it called? The team he played for before. However, I don't think it will run in this current Chelsea squad in the Premier League. But we'll come to that. We're almost there. Right mid.
Personally, I'd go Pulisic on the right. Personally,
no, Pulisic on the left.
No. My reasoning is put Giroud up front and then Werner off the left.
No, he's not a left winger. He's not a left people. Like sorry. Prime. I'm not trying to get at you in it. I'm sorry. Don't take it.
If you let me finish, you'll understand.
Yeah, finish.
I'm not saying as a winger, but they're both playing off of him, like what France do, like what Leipzig do with who's the target man, Poulsen.
Yeah. But then when you do that, just say you negate. You're gonna allow the freedom for Trent. What we need is someone to. You saw it with Lamptey. You need someone pushing up against their left or right back. That's what wingers are there for.
Well, not necessarily. No, if we have the onus, if we have the onus to work on them, it's not necessarily because Trent has to come back.
Yeah.
Not
necessarily.
Well, to defend, he does. And 2, if we break on them on the counter, Giroud up there is a great man to use as a target, and then everyone springs off.
I think Prime's got a point. I think if you could play Werner just off Giroud, and then they could kind of like join. Because if you watched us against Brighton, we had 2 up front at the time, and they were playing next to each other. So you might see that. You might do that because we've got 3 strikers on the bench. We've got 2 strikers and Werner.
What's it called? That's what you're probably gonna see with Havertz and Werner playing up front.
Yeah. Eventually, when we have wingers, we don't have wingers at the moment. That's the problem.
You know what I think? Even I understand the whole concept and stuff, and I think I really do want to see Giroud and Werner play together. However, I think because of the team we're playing against, I think leaving that left side completely, not completely exposed, but exposed to an extent is going to be very detrimental. So
yeah, you got to understand, Trent is effective moving forward.
Yeah,
you can't give him that space.
No, I know, but one, it's about sending him backwards. Two, Werner can do a bit of a job out there. Three,
hold on.
I think Frank could possibly go with it. It's a thought.
If we're defending, we need someone. Do you expect Werner to come back and do some defensive duties?
Nah.
Yes. He was doing it yesterday.
You see that he was doing it yesterday.
I don't want him to come back and be doing defensive duties.
We know what Frank's like, and he likes to sort of press when we're all sitting back and the forward players kind of go. So it helps.
If we're going on a defensive mindset, I know you ain't going to like what I'm going to say. I think he's going to put Mason Mount there just to follow.
He is.
That's what
I just have that feeling Mason Mount is going to play that game. Yeah. It's just obvious. Isn't it? It's obvious.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's continue, man. Let's continue.
Let's move forward anyway.
Forward, I didn't hear from you on the whole Giroud and what's his name, Werner situation. I don't want to hear what you have to say.
Yeah, I think with that, Prime's certainly got a point there. I think there are certain merits to playing Giroud against Liverpool. I think with the amount of long balls he was forced to play against Brighton, and what could be the case against Liverpool, I think having someone like a target man in Giroud will give us a good outlet for the team. But for me personally, if you want to get the best out of us as a team versus Liverpool, I think you need to play three in the middle. So to me, I actually wouldn't play this formation. I would actually play Kante as the holding midfielder with Kovacic, and obviously I forgot Kovacic was actually is now not suspended for this game, so I would play him instead of Barkley. So I would have Kovacic and Mount as the 2-8s. Obviously, you can work up and down and really press against that Liverpool midfield. And then for me, again, I would play two wingers, but I know Lampard isn't going to want to play two wingers. So I would obviously start Pulisic on the left and Havertz on the right with Werner up front. I think that's going to give us the best defensive shape against Liverpool, because you can't do 4-4-2 off the wheel at Liverpool. You would get outrun in the middle. So, yeah, for me, it would be Pulisic on the left, Havertz on the right, and then Werner up top.
See, this is why I like you, because you're talking about the 2-8s. But when I mentioned 2-8s a couple of weeks ago and Kante Loon's big, I was getting dogged, whatever. But anyway,
because we've seen what our defense is like, and we can't play this 2-8s thing because it is going to leave us exposed. You want to leave against one of the
but they're not two attacking eights, because when we played against Man City, Man City, Kovacic, it was on that day it was Mount and Barkley, and they were 2-8s, but they were very defensive. They were very diligent in their role. And against Liverpool, we can do the exact same thing. Now, for me, again, I know a lot of people don't like Kante as a holding midfielder, and I know Kante's best position is not that. But in this team, especially without a natural defensive midfielder, because you haven't bought Declan Rice in and you let Ampadu go out on loan, we have to play Kante there because he is the best number 6 in the team. He's also the best box-to-box number 8 in the team as well, but we can only play him one position. So for me, we have to play him as the DM and let Kovacic and Mount do the dog work, obviously either side of it.
He was awesome yesterday, Kante. He really was.
He was great.
I would understand if he did it, because it would help him get in his favourite boy and play Havertz. So,
all right. So what are we? We're still sticking with the formation. Yeah, we're not going to change it. No 2-8.
Yeah.
So on the right wing, who we got? We got Pulisic.
It's going to be Mount. It's going to be Mount.
Yeah, it's going to be Mount. Unfortunately,
it's going to be Mount.
It's going to be Mount number 10, and then Havertz on the right.
Yeah, it's going to be either one that will be switched. Yeah, it will be either of those, isn't it? Like, that's just a fact.
You say that, you might actually see Ross Barkley in the 8 role, and then Mount on the left and Havertz on the right. After his
no.
You never know.
That could be the case. It could be.
But God forbid.
Well, you guys have been making me realize I've got to be praying a lot this week.
So we're taking Kovacic out then, or we're taking Jorginho out then.
Well, Jorginho's dropping. Yeah,
he's injured. He's injured.
Jorginho was just filling in. Yesterday, Jorginho was just filling in. Jorginho's not a starter in our team.
Yeah, I know. I'm just. What do you think of his performance? Would it have worked to start?
Good holding the ball defensively. Poor.
We'll come to it. Left wing.
Should be Pulisic, no doubt.
I hope he's back.
Yeah.
If he's back.
I hope he's back. And
Timo Werner.
Now Werner.
If he's not back, it's simple.
Yeah, if he's not back, pray for Chelsea, man.
Looking at this team, are you guys still sticking with the 2-1s and the 3-1s? And all of that.
Yes.
Yeah,
if I'm looking at this team, I think it's a
2-1.
2-1. I think it's a 2-1.
2-1.
Definitely a 2-1.
Yeah.
2-1.
Unfortunately, we got a bored fraud in goal, so we're gonna have to concede a goal.
But I'm not happy. I'm not happy with. I just think with Havertz playing there, we're not going to get anything out of him. I'm going to say that now.
No,
we're not going to get. I don't think we're going to get anything out of him.
Okay.
No, he needs to get the best out of Havertz. He needs to be as close as possible to Werner. That's the way I see it.
But they're not going to be sticking out there. They'll be interchanging a little bit anyway.
I didn't see much.
I think a lot of this game we're going to be playing without the ball, and I mean, for me, that's why I would start two wingers. I think you need a lot of pace on the wing against Liverpool because we're going to be hitting them on a counter a lot. Yes, you need the width, and Havertz isn't going to get the opportunity to drift inside a lot because we're not going to have that much of the ball. So
that's
what I mean. Honestly, I would start Hudson-Odoi. I would even rather because I know Lampard likes to start Mount on the wing. I would even rather see Mount on the wing there, and there's maybe see another number 10, whether it's even Pulisic number 10 and Hudson-Odoi on the left, or even let's say Barkley in the middle and Mount on the wing, but. We know what Lampard's going to do. He's going to want to try and get Havertz off to a good start. So probably see him start.
But we would all love to see Hudson-Odoi.
That looks good. That right there looks very, very.
That's
very threatening.
This is the ideal. Yeah, this is the ideal. This is the ideal team we want to see on Sunday.
Well, Chilwell, but yeah.
Well, Chilwell's
injured. Forget about Chilwell. He's injured. It's not realistic.
No, that is realistic. Yeah.
This right here is realistic.
Yeah, definitely.
Frank Lampard, Chelsea players. I know a couple of you got burners on here, fam. If you're watching this is the team. We know you might have burners, fam. If I out one of you right now, fam, but we know you guys have burners. This is the team we want to see.
But the ones who have the burners, are they the starters?
Yes.
Is it Mount that has the burner on them or what?
You never know. Mount's probably looking at us like we're bloody dimwits, fam. Anyway, over 1,200 people of you, please like the video. Thank you very much. Very important to us that you like the video. And again, seeing as Prime keeps bringing it back up, let's talk a little bit about Jorginho very, very, very quickly. I'm just gonna come out and state it straight away. Jorginho doesn't start. I don't care what kind of performance that he had yesterday. He doesn't start for us. He shouldn't sniff the first 11 for us at all. But yeah, I'm just gonna throw it out into the ball. I'm gonna let Prime defend why. It
wasn't about starting. My main question was just about his performance.
Yeah,
it was a good performance, but until he can run fast and not turn like a bus, he's not in a start. He's not a starter.
Especially against Liverpool.
And this thing about him being a good passer, I'm starting to realize it's not true. Guy is just good at volumes of passes, not actual passes.
No. He's good passing. Is a 5-yard pass from me to you. Well, not to you because you're miles away. But
it wasn't a goal. The penalty was it not his ball that played in Werner?
Yeah.
Penalty.
Yeah.
But do you really want to play him against a workhorse of a midfield?
No. I know. I just said.
Just the game.
Saturday.
He was all right. But even in the midfield, he was, he didn't cover and help Marcus Alonso enough.
Not enough. No,
not enough. He should be helping Alonso. Brighton's right hand side was just nullified. Kante was there helping Reece James, just snuffed it out. Nothing happened there. On the left hand side, on the other hand, Alonso was as rubbish as he was isolated out there. Sometimes Zuma was there helping him. We had nothing. He had no help from Jorginho whatsoever.
And that's where Kovacic comes in, because when Kovacic plays, he gives us balance. Like Kenny does on the right, Kovacic does on the left. He's always forever covering that side, and it's important.
And also a good thing about Kovacic is that he helps us retain the ball a lot more.
He does, and he drives with it.
Yeah. Also, how have we got this whole thing without talking about Reece James?
He's been great.
Okay.
I'm just saying. I'm taking up on a roller coaster, man. Wait for it, fam.
That's my point.
Roller coaster thing.
Wait, I love it.
Roller coaster things. Jorginho. I think. Decent match. Still not good enough. In my opinion, I don't want to see him play again this season. I'm actually begging. Maybe in cup games. Like the 5th rounds and stuff. I don't want to see him. I used to defend him with my chest. And now it's just like David says, he turns like a bus. He really does. And it's not quick enough, and he's not aggressive enough for the Premier League. And that's just that, in my opinion. It's never going to change, unfortunately. Take him back to Napoli.
The only teams Jorginho can play against for me are teams that don't counter. So if the teams that are going to sit with 11 in their own half and not move out, then you play Jorginho because he can start
You're talking
doing
about
these little passes.
I just asked about the game, but that's fine.
Sorry, go on.
I was just asking about the game. You guys are talking about the whole season, but that's fine.
No,
we're just elaborating.
Evaluating.
We're expanding.
Oh no, I know the evaluations. It's just that's fine.
Cool. Next.
Big fan.
Everything you say.
Right, another negative. Ruben Loftus-Cheek.
Oh.
Yeah. We've spoken negatively. We've spoken about we've spoken about Kepa already. We've spoken about Lampard's decisions. We need to speak about Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Ruben Loftus-Cheek it's difficult for me because in the Sarri days, I used to compare this guy to the likes of Dele Alli. People used to say, Dele Alli, he's got so much on Ruben, blah, blah, blah. I used to be like, nah, let Ruben get fully fit. Ruben is a bad boy, better than Dele Alli, better than James Maddison, better than all of them, man. And then yesterday, he really proved to me that I'm an idiot. I'm going to start with you, David, because I really love it when you meet into players. I just want to get a feel of Ruben Loftus-Cheek's performance yesterday, your opinion on it, and where he needs to end up at the end of this season.
I don't know what's wrong. One thing I know is definitely wrong. He's playing in the wrong position. Don't stop sticking midfielders in wing. That was my biggest thing of yesterday. Stop.
He went to the middle though. He did go to the middle.
No. Let me finish.
Excuses.
Let him finish.
Let me finish. Right. Don't stick midfielders out wing, then suddenly shift them into the middle and expect their bad performance to suddenly turn good. Because once you played 45 minutes of bad football, you're suddenly getting shunted into the middle. Don't make you better, especially when you're not like an elite player. And we know that right now we have a couple elite players, but they're not like our youth players aren't at that level just yet. So that's my first thing. However, he did have a chance to play in Werner and he messed it up, which was a very simple pass. And the amount of times he got the ball and he tried to do his I can dribble thing, but he was trying to do nutmegs. I think the guy is just trying too hard. That is my thing with him. I feel like back when he was playing with under Sarri, it was so simple. It was, there's a player in front of me. Let me knock it around him. I know I've got the pace. Let me go around him. Then I offload the ball. Not, I'm going to offload the ball and turn backwards. The amount of times yesterday he was getting the ball and he's just passing the ball back and slowing the attack down. That was another thing yesterday. Just really like slowing the ball down. Stop doing it. Look forward. Try and play them forward balls because we now have that attack to do it. You see it yesterday when Werner's on the ball and he's running with it. We now have that ability to play the ball forward. So one of my biggest criticisms is yes, don't play him out wide, but he's got to look at himself and he's got to grab a chance because when a couple people when they leave our youth team are like, we never had a chance. He's had more than enough chances to show that he's good enough. And he had the chance with Sarri and he was proving it. And unfortunately got injured. That's not his fault. But now you're under a new regime. You've got to prove yourself again. You've got to take that next chance. He's at the stage where he's not got many more. I reckon he's got one or two more. If you don't grab the next one, people are seriously going to be looking at him thinking, at what point do we start cashing in and how much can we get for him? That's my honest opinion.
And it's like, how long can we play this injury off for? Like, yes, it was a very bad injury, but how long can we use this as an excuse? Forward, I'm going to come to you here. What are your thoughts on Ruben Loftus-Cheek? Like, I know he's Chelsea star boy coming up from the academy and stuff, but what are your genuine thoughts, especially after yesterday's performance?
He's muted.
Come off mute. Yeah, can you guys hear me now? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Let me run it back. So, with Ruben, it's a tough one because again, this is one of my boys, and again, for me, when people compare them to Dele Alli, James Maddison, they don't compare him with them, because he's well above. I think for me, on this day, when he will be easily the best midfielder for England right now. But again, for me to continue saying that, I need to see the performances out of him, and obviously, we've not seen that for a little while now. I think context is very important, especially with players like Ruben and Hudson-Odoi, when you look at the injuries that they had, because these aren't just any old injuries. It was an Achilles tendon injury that he had. And for many players that ends their career, they're not the same anymore. They haven't got the same burst of speed that they used to have previous to the injury. So for me, certainly what I've seen from him is a lack of confidence, a lack of really kind of trying to impose himself on the game. And I think for someone of his stature, with his ability, with his technical ability in tight spaces, he needs to really impose himself on games more often. He needs to be dropping deep and receiving the ball. Whether it's Lampard's instruction for him to stay up top and close to Werner, he needs to come deep and actually receive the ball and create solutions in the middle to receive the ball from Kante and Jorginho. But for me, he wasn't doing that. And it's a shame because at his best, when we saw him towards the end of Sarri's first season, we saw him again in those Europa League games against Frankfurt where he was the man of the match in both games. I mean, he's absolutely excellent, and it's almost effortless the way he would glide past players, make the right footballing decision more often than not. I mean, he's an excellent player, like a Rolls Royce of a player, and for me, it's a massive shame if he doesn't fulfill his potential at Chelsea, and right now it's looking like that. And I mean, for me, it's a shame because, you know, Lampard does favour him a lot. He is going to back him, and at every opportunity in press conferences, he will talk about how it's going to be so much better once Ruben becomes back into it fit. And I think, again, it was a little bit of mismanagement starting him in this game. I think you don't want to put the pressure on him. I think, for me, you start Hudson-Odoi, you play Mount number 10, and then you bring Ruben on to go affect the game in the final 20 minutes when he's going up against tired legs. So, yeah, for me, with Ruben, again, we need to just wait and see if he can get our confidence back, because I know there's a player in there. I think there's absolutely no doubt about it. There's a player in there, and if he can get it back, then we're going to be for the better for it. But if not, I think what we can say is we've got enough in that area with Mount, Havertz, Pulisic that we can get by if he doesn't become a top player.
I mean, I'm not patient in it. Like, I know you guys are more patient than I am in it. I'm not patient. I want to see Ruben go on loan to yesterday. Like, I need him on loan right now. Jem, what's your take on this?
It would be quite brutal, to be honest, when it comes to Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Like, for me, like, since he's come back from this injury, he is a shadow of what we knew he was before that. The guy that used to pick the ball up and drive, the guy that used to, in my eyes, had the most talent at the time in the youth team that we had of the players that was coming up. I think he's got a bit of a mental barrier issue at the moment. I think, like you said, he's had this injury, and we've seen with players in the past. Like, you look at someone like Fernando Torres, he was awesome, and then he had that one injury, and he never ever found it back again. And I think with Ruben Loftus-Cheek, especially on last night's performance, I feel like he's not overcoming that mental issue like block that he's got, and he's not sticking to what he's good at. He seems to. It's like he's playing within himself a bit, like he's struggling to. And the thing that's getting me the most is the Chelsea fans that are defending him. Yes, he's a youth player, and yes, we want the best for Ruben Loftus-Cheek. We all do. But we've got to stop defending him. His performance yesterday, we cannot condone for. That was a poor performance. Yeah, he didn't. Every time the ball came into him, he couldn't hold it up. He lost it. His passing was off. He was giving the ball away. We was getting countered. He just wasn't. It wasn't good for him. He wasn't looking good. Now, I'm not saying that Ruben Loftus-Cheek can't come back and be this player that we all know he can be, but at the moment, it's not looking good. It's really not looking good for me.
This is funny because we sound like teachers at parents evening, fam. Like, we're properly evaluating how good he can be, his potential, and all of that jazz. But I mean, Monster, looking at what we saw from Ruben Loftus-Cheek in 2018, 2019, and then looking at what you saw yesterday, how big is the gap, and how far is he from getting back to what he used to be?
I don't know if you guys know this, but my current favorite player at Chelsea is Ruben Loftus-Cheek, innit? But that's not gonna stop me from going in right now, innit? Now, I'm gonna be brutally honest with you. Yeah, the injury he had is I think it was a ruptured Achilles. I watch basketball a lot. Most basketball players, when they get a ruptured Achilles, they don't come back. So I understand he's not the same player. He's not gonna be the same player anymore. I think, and this is going to be harsh, I truly believe Ruben's done at Chelsea. I don't think he's going to come back. Chelsea, we don't also have the time to bring him back. So it's either he's got to go out on loan or we have to sell him. I think Gary Neville was right. He was right. We've been expecting him to come back since he came back before lockdown, right? He came back. He didn't play well the first game back, and I understand that Lampard played him out of position. But I've heard so many people say, he let him play in his favorite position, let him play in his favorite position. We've seen him in his favorite position, nothing. We've seen him up front, nothing. We've seen him on the right, nothing. Yesterday, I heard someone say maybe they should play him in a double pivot. the next thing he's going to play there, and then you're going to get nothing. And then they're going to say, play him as a centre back. I'm tired. I'm seriously tired. Too many excuses from the Alex Goldbergs, from the Nini FC, from CFC Dubois, whatever his name is, CFC Mod, all these guys. Ruben is done. He's done. You're not going to get the same Ruben back. I'm sorry to say this. He's done. His time at Chelsea is done. It's harsh, but you've got Barkley in front of him, Jorginho, Kante. I know they don't all play the same position. Mount, Havertz, Kovacic. What time do Chelsea have to bring him back up to fitness? Or to bring him back into? They don't have time anymore, innit?
No.
He's done. I'm sorry to say this, and I'll be brutally honest. I understand he came back from injury, all this and all that, but Ruben Loftus-Cheek is done, and he's looking like another Jesse Lingard, unfortunately, innit? The injury has not helped him, innit? It's really unfortunate, innit? It's really unfortunate, but I'm just being honest. Do you know what I mean? I'm just being honest. So, yeah, I don't know how people are going to take that, but I'm not going to sit here and lie like we have the time to allow him to...
No, we don't. And we've got to stop defending him.
The only hope he has is that, like, when everyone else is fit in the squad, he plays in a better team. And that increases his level. As you've seen, like, you look at Liverpool's team, like, if we had a conversation about this on the terrace a couple of days ago, if you sell Jordan Henderson, he doesn't go to another top team in another league. His level is like West Ham, Everton. He's like that level, but he's around so many good players. It raises his level. That's what we have to hope.
I think with Ruben, he needs to adapt his style, because how he was pre-injury as opposed to now, it's like there's some sort of block saying that he can't play the way he used to play, and he's now in this weird period where he doesn't really know what to do, because he's built like a unit and he should be able to dribble past players, but he can't, because whenever he does do that, he'll keep getting injured. So
that's what I'm saying. The injury, people keep saying injury. But when is the injuries? And it sounds so harsh when I say this, innit? But when is the injuries gonna stop? Do you know what I mean? We've been looking for this potential of his since he was 19. He's 24 going on 25 now. How long more? Is it going to be another 4 years, another 5 years? I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm just being honest. A lot of fans need to get out of their emotions and be honest with yourself.
Be a bit monster. Do you know what, though? There's no other reason for his decline when you think about it. Try and pinpoint another reason for him declining so much since that injury. There isn't one. So everyone goes to his injury. Do you know what I mean?
Saw it in the friendly against Brighton. I remember the commentators saying, why is Ruben not driving? He picked up the ball so many times, and I was specifically watching Ruben in that friendly, innit? Picked up the ball so many times, just got rid of it. It's like he's scared.
I'm agree. He doesn't do what he's good at, which is picking the ball up and driving. He's scared to run with it. It's like he's scared it's going to happen again or something.
So what time do we have to breed him into this team?
You don't.
Like,
unfortunately,
we don't have time anymore.
You don't.
We don't. We're just being honest. If we're being honest, what time do we have? Like, come on.
So what do you is this basically a message to, because I know Jem mentioned something about deluded Chelsea fans, and is this basically the message you're trying to send to them, like, stop being deluded?
Just be honest.
Stop backing him. You know. No. It's not. Jem. It's not. Sorry. Let me think of that. Stop backing. We got to back our players. I get that, but when they're putting in the performances that they're putting in, you can't condone that. So you can't sit there on the next day and start saying, "Oh, but it's this, but it's that." We got to give it. No. It was a bad performance. Yes, he's a youth player. Yes, we all want him to do well and become this player that we know he can become. But if he can't get himself back to that level, which it's looking like he's finding it hard to do, then we've just got to accept that maybe he's not going to be the player we think he's going to be, and just move on.
And these guys will slate Jorginho every day. They will slate Kovacic every day. They will slate Barkley. I've never seen them speaking, objectively about Ruben Loftus-Cheek. It's always the excuse of, he's injured, he's that. If you're going to slate our other players, you've got to slate him as well. Do you know what I mean? Don't sit here and lie. Don't sit here and be like, but this, but that. No excuses. This is Chelsea Football Club. This is not West Ham or whoever. If one player gets slated, everyone gets slated on bad performances. Otherwise, if you're going to give an excuse for one player, give excuse for every other player. Be objective. Be honest.
And the fact is, everyone knows the difference between abuse and criticism. Like we're like, regardless of what players say, we all know they read what we say, and
of course.
If this gets big enough, they'll probably have it. Like they'll probably watch it and be like, "Oh, what are they saying about this, that, and the other?" Everyone knows the difference between abuse and criticism. If everyone was to go, Loftus-Cheek yesterday, he had a poor performance. Yeah, I'm sure he knows himself. He's probably his biggest critics, and he's like, "I know I had a bad performance. I know it."
He knows.
So. Everyone knows if you come out and say he didn't have a good game yesterday, that's fine. You don't have to go, "Oh, he was so bad, I want to do this to him," and that. You don't have to do that. All you have to say is he had a poor performance yesterday. He needs to improve, and that's not us being harsh. That's because we want exactly what they want. They want to win every game. We want to win every game.
Yes.
So in order to do it, you've just got to. We all want you to be better, and. I don't know what else to say. It's like everybody wants them to be better, and we want them to be better. They're going to.
What's your opinion on it? What's Forward's opinion?
Yeah, go on, Forward.
Yeah, with Ruben, like I've said, I mean, one of my favorite players, undoubtedly. And again, from day, I've been saying this guy is going straight to the top. He's more good than Dele Alli. He's more talented than James Maddison. And it's a shame the injury has done this to him, because I've been looking at him for a while and seeing it's a lack of confidence. It's a lack of belief in his own legs that he's going to be able to make in 90 minutes, go in at a certain intensity. And that's why he's playing quite a languid style. He's playing within himself. And I'm just hoping he gets out of it now, whether that's me saying it like as a fan of him, which I am, maybe it is, but I'm certainly not going to say he wasn't, like saying that, oh, yesterday was good enough. No, it was not good enough. And I'm not getting onto him like a lot of fans are just because of the misplaced pass to Werner. I was getting onto him from the 10th minute when I saw that he wasn't tracking back properly. I mean, it was also his fault as well that left-hand side was getting cut up so many times with Alonso and Jorginho. Yes. He wasn't offering enough defensively. So for me, again, is that Ruben's lack of work ethic? Is he not trying hard enough? That could be it, but I also think it's just a lack of belief in his own legs, and it's a shame it's going to be like that now. Again, I'm hoping it gets better, but from the looks of it right now, once to say that he looks done, I don't want to go that far, but again, I cannot give you a certified argument as to say that he's not done. It's looking very bleak right now.
It is.
Yeah. And I guess the clear message here is Ruben Loftus-Cheek, we've all supported him. Like, I don't know any Chelsea fan that hasn't supported this guy with all their heart. Like, we've all supported him blindly. But deluded fans, it's time to let it go. Jesus, that is loud. But yeah, as you were saying, it's time to let RLC go. We love him. We adore him, but it's time for him to go. You've heard it here first. Like, it's just time. It's on corporate business. However, if he goes on loan to Crystal Palace, or if Crystal Palace even buy him, he was really good for Crystal Palace when he went on loan to them. No, if they buy him, we won't be mad. Him and Mitchie can have a good life over there.
He was great on loan, and then he got injured. And that's the big. He can't get through.
People are gonna always make the excuse of he's injured. He's been injured for 3 or 4 years, bro.
Look, and the thing is, if he's a talented midfielder and he's one of our best, we can't build a team around him. Then he gets injured for a few months, and then what are we going to do?
This is the thing. Chelsea. A lot of Chelsea fans, the big ones, the big YouTubers or whatever, and it's like they support players. We don't support players. We support the club. This is Chelsea FC. We're bigger than any one player, innit? Do you know, any one player is not working, we have to let them go. That's how Chelsea works. It's not a joke. Other teams don't play that game. Do you know what I mean? They don't play that game. So we need to stop this. One player this, one player that. We get it. He came from our academy, blah, this and that. But that's not an excuse, innit? It's not an excuse.
Someone just come up in the comments. It's quite a valid point, but they've said, look, what if we sell Ruben Loftus-Cheek and he ends up doing a Salah and a KDB in the next 2-3 years, and he's like this awesome player after he's left us.
You know what the difference between that is? Salah and KDB were clearly talented players.
And they didn't have injury.
But you didn't know that then.
But the team we had, they just weren't getting in. Ruben is talented, but his injuries is what's stopping him. If he wasn't getting injured, this wouldn't be a problem.
What if that team gets the best out of him, like Man City did with Kevin De Bruyne, like Liverpool are now doing with Salah? What if he goes somewhere and ends up becoming this?
No. It's not about getting the best out of him. It's about stopping his injuries.
Maybe. Yeah. Honestly, that's a mental.
These youth or Ruben fanboys. If this was a different player we'd bought for 40 mil, from Spain or France.
They've been slatering Jorginho so much.
So what? If this was happening after one season, would you still want him here?
No.
Listen, Prime. They slater Jorginho. They slater Kovacic so much. They don't. Do you know what I mean?
Morata.
Yeah, they don't give those guys the same benefit of the doubt. But it's the same. But with Ruben and Mount and all these guys, it don't matter how bad they perform, they'll find an excuse for them, innit? But
because why? Because they come from our youth team, and that's why. Because we want someone to come through like John Terry did.
Chelsea FC. You know what I mean? We don't care. Anita, go on.
Let's dead the negativity. Let's talk about one positive from our academy. We've talked about Mount. We've talked about RLC. Let's talk about big boy Reece James, Trent, come outside. Let's talk about him. Yeah,
great.
I think personally, yeah. All right, cool. Don't slander me for this. I wanted Lamptey to stay ahead of Reece James. I
get it.
We saw you yesterday.
Yeah. Like I was proper cutting for him, like on the TL and stuff. Like I know it's a big shout, but before I talk about Reece James, just to justify myself, I think Lamptey can literally go on, and the sky is his limit. I wouldn't be surprised if we see him at one of the top clubs in Europe come maybe 2-3 years from now. I think he has the potential to be better than any traditional left back.
We couldn't keep him. He's a right back, but we couldn't keep him.
Right back.
The thing is, people don't understand the situation at the time. It was a situation of Lamptey wanted to play. Chelsea couldn't guarantee him that game time. And he wasn't going to sign a new contract. So we had to sell him last January for the 10 mil. I think it was 10 mil to Brighton.
I think it was 3 million. It was only 3.
Yeah, but you can see why, can't you? Look how good he is. And I wonder if I'm Lamptey and I was sitting there going, do you know what? I think I'm sick. I'm sick. You know,
I think where Chelsea might have made a mistake is they should have probably put a buyback clause in his contract.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a buyback clause.
Yeah, there's no reports of it. We might go in for him a couple of years and it might just pop up. Like, we don't know. We don't know what happened in that contract.
We even have something like Ake, a first refusal.
No, that was with Ake. That wasn't with Lamptey.
That's what I'm asking. Do we have that with him?
No, we
not
have
anymore.
Not anymore.
We're not exercising it.
No. With Lamptey, do we have something like that anyway?
I don't think there is.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, but you can see why he had Aspi ahead of him and he had Reece James ahead of him. So there was, unless you wanted to shift to left back. I mean, I reckon he could have done a better job at left back than Alonso, but that's not the point. I
agree with you. Yeah, go on.
What did you say, Monster?
No, I was saying that with Newski, I agree with you. And you know what's mad? I've been to quite a few academy games, so I go to watch some of their games. So it's not like I'm just talking rubbish, innit?
But anyway, back to Reece James now. Forward, talk to me about our star boy, man.
Star boy.
He's a star boy.
I'm a star boy.
I mean, what a player. I mean, again. What strikes me with Reece James first and foremost is just his composure. I mean, he looks like a seasoned pro out there. I mean, for me, even defensively, again, when we compare him to the likes of Trent, which the comparisons are being made, or Aaron Wan-Bissaka, he's just so much more balanced than the both of them. He can do it going forward with his ability to cross the ball. You can even see that he's able to play inside as a midfielder, which you saw the last 10 minutes of the game. And obviously, his ability to shoot from range is second to none. I mean, I wasn't surprised. I don't know if you guys were, but I was not surprised by that strike because we saw him do it numerous times in the academy, especially for Wigan in that season that he had on loan there. And I think he's just a fantastic player. And it's just amazing to see him grow and become the player that he's becoming right now. And again, it was a shame that it was at the expense of Lamptey, who, again, I think for many teams would have broken into the team by now because he's a fantastic player. And I only wish he was left-footed because he would easily be starting for us already at left back. Yeah. And there wouldn't be a need to buy a Chilwell or suffer with Alonso and Emerson for the last few years. But again, Reece James, I mean, for me, the sky is the absolute limit. People say that Alphonso Davies right now is the best left back in the world. All right, cool. I think give Reece James a couple of years, and not only will people say he's the best right back in the league, but the best fullback in world football. I 100% believe that's going to be the case.
And can I just say, I'm happy with both of them, both Reece James and Lamptey. I think they were both great. I'm happy with both of them, even though he was frying us. It's big up to him, man. Big up to him.
I want to go through Reece James. Reece James is attributes, right? Number one, he's a brick. Like the guy is a brick. Like you can't barge him off the ball. It doesn't matter who you are. You ain't barging that boy. He's good going forward. He can cross. He can defend, and he's also versatile. He can play not only right back, he can even play for me somewhere in the middle if needed, which we saw yesterday. He for me has the overall package in terms of a right back. You know, he's just good at everything, isn't he? Usually, you get right backs that are good at going forward but can't defend, or they're very good at defending, like AWB. But he's, giving the ball when he's going forward and he's useless. Do you know what I mean? So, but with him, he's just got the whole whack, and
he does everything, even set pieces. He's the one who took the corner yesterday. He's going to be our corner taker. Yes. Guy's class. It's my second favourite youth product.
Yeah, definitely.
This is ironic. Coming from a Liverpool fan, credit where it's due. RJ is a baller. He's a great talent.
Yes, Stroll.
Yes,
Stroll.
My God, Stroll.
No. Don't talk about our boy, fam. Let Trent come outside, bro.
When he gets more goal contributions this year, we're going to have a serious talk. We're having a serious talk.
Don't talk about our boy, young player of the year this year. Don't watch that. It's going to happen. But
let's see.
really quickly, because we gotta get the hell out of here. Everyone watching, we still got over 1,000 people watching. You lot are lit. Like honestly, like really grateful. Please hit that like button. Thank you. And very quickly, wait, give me a second. Okay, I'm not really sure what that's saying. I'm forward. You mentioned something in the private chat, and I just want you to reiterate that because I can't really say it for you because I'm not too sure what you're talking about there.
Oh, no, I was just... when Jem was going through all of his attributes, it just came across my mind last season when he absolutely broke Dan Burn in half. The Brighton fullback, he's about 6'5".
Yeah.
They went for a 50-50 challenger, and I felt bad for him at the time because it looked like he was in pain, bro. It was mad. So, Reece James is just an absolute monster. What a player. What a player.
Yeah.
What a player. Listen, and I know a lot of Chelsea fans and a lot of our rival fans have been talking bad on Havertz, yeah? We've said it throughout this episode. We've dropped hints there, here and there, but I'm going to say it straight out. Play Havertz in that central role, you're not going to be talking bad no more. I promise you that. He did look a bit lost yesterday. We can all admit that, and we can all blame that all on Lampard because at the end of the day, we didn't understand the selection anyway.
He's only been training with Chelsea for 5 days as well, so people need to realize.
The funny thing is, I didn't even think he was that bad. If that's his bottom level of performance, let's say that's his bottom level performance, I'm happy because he was at least offloading the. He was probably our best midfielder yesterday. Well, out of the attacking midfielders, he's probably the best one because I'm talking about Mount and Loftus-Cheek. He was the best one out of those three.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not talking about our Jorginho and Kante. I'm not talking about them. The attacking mid.
I was getting a little bit worried with where you was going.
No. Out of those attacking midfielders, he was the best one. He was the one who at least could offload the ball quick enough and spring counter attack. So I'm not worried about him. I'm not worried. I think he'll be great.
Surprise! When you buy a quality player in a team, he's gonna look quality, Surprise!
Of course he will.
Yeah, he just came in, man. Just give him some time, innit? Nice. He'll come good.
Listen, they're gonna hate on him. Look at his price tag. Yeah, they know he's talented. They want him to just fail the rival. Exactly. So at the end of the day, if he has anything under a 7 out of 10 game, they're coming for him. We know that.
Yeah, that's why I don't pay attention to what rivals say.
Don't worry about it
or anything, innit?
Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Ram said it's not a great feat being better than Mason Mount. Well, just focus on securing Thiago, please.
What did he say? What did Ram say?
Not a great feat being better than Mason Mount.
Okay, boy. Anyway,
all right. Listen.
Anyway, we're gonna cut this off here. This Sunday we play the Broke Boys at Stamford Bridge. They're coming to rich ground, rich territory. Broke Boys, when you can buy Thiago, let me know. Then we can have a conversation. Do you understand? Please get off my stream, you broke boy. Pray for the rivals. Word to Monster. And literally, we're out. See you later.